what's up, everybody? It's your boy King Jut coming to you live in color. I just wanted to share a legendary story with you guys that means a lot to me, man. So a lot of people, they know already, they like, man, this dude's from Houston, Texas. Yes, I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm not bragging and boasting, but I will say that Houston, Texas is one of the greatest, biggest independent markets that you can possibly be a part of. Now, in my career as an artist, I have had a lot of opportunities to open up for other artists. One of those artists, RIP, being Big Mo. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story about the time that I first opened up for Big Mo, and this was back in the day before Big Mo passed away. I actually had an opportunity to open up for Big. I was a young buck. I was the youngest in the pack. So what ended up happening was a couple guys from my neighborhood, they started a record label called Lethal Inc. Okay. I was one of the first artists that was signed to that label. I was about 18 years old. So I was a teenager. I was 18, just getting started. And this was like one of my first biggest shows that I had to do. I don't know if anybody understands what it's like to get on stage in front of a humongous amount of people and try to do something for the first time and make it a success. But not only did I open up for Big Mo, that's right, Mr. Big Mo, yeah, it's that nigga Big Ass Mo. I also got a chance to open up for Big Pokey. A lot of people worldwide, a lot of people nationwide, they don't know who these artists are, but they are credible artists, and I have to share these stories. So what ended up happening was, this was at a motor park. So it was a motor park where they have like motorcycle racing. It's like a racetrack. They have like sports cars and stuff like that. Anyways, I knew this was going to be a big moment for me. I was like, you know what? This is my opportunity to shine. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and I was so stoked. The reason why I was stoked is because in Houston, Texas, for you to be able to open up for Big Mo or have anything to do with Big Mo was a huge deal, dog. Big Mo, the bar baby, dog. Yeah, it's that nigga Big Ass Mo, chilling with my partner named Big Mo. It's on his birthday, we coming through. What? So what ended up happening was we were waiting in the parking lot, right? I'm just gonna tell you my glory story. That's what I'm gonna call it. This is called the glory story. So what ended up happening is I'm sitting in the parking lot and I'm sitting with, you know, people from the label and whatnot. And I'll never forget, somebody came up to me. I'm over here in my mind. I'm trying to like, oh man, how am I going to spit my raps? You know, I'm opening up for Big Mo and Big Pokey. This is a huge moment. And then somebody walks up and they're like, guess what, King Jut? And I'm like, what? They're like, we signed you up for the freestyle contest too. I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm over here looking like Eminem in 8 Mile. Like, oh, the palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti. And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, so not only do I have to memorize my verse and make sure that I come correct when I do this stage performance, but now I got to battle a whole gang of people for a trophy. So long story short, we had not got called up for our set yet. We were the opening act, which a lot of people understand the opening act is the act that goes before the headliner. So you basically open up for the headliner and you're basically to perform before they go on stage. So what ended up happening was I ended up, and these people can't drive, man. These people really cannot drive. I ended up getting to the stage, and immediately when I got to the stage, I'm in my mind, I got mixed emotions. I'm like, I'm thinking about freestyling. I'm thinking about how am I going to do this show. Anyways, what ends up happening is next thing they're like, everybody who's entering the freestyle competition to the stage. And I'll never forget, there was this dude from Austin, Texas. This dude was a lot older than me, and he was more experienced than me. But in my mind, I was like, look, they were telling me like, you can freestyle. And I'm like, look, I'm not really a freestyle battler, so I don't know if I'm really ready for this. So what ended up happening was, I get up on stage, right? So here I am up on stage, and next thing you know, I start battling this guy. And I start battling him, and I spit like, you know, he did his thing first. So he came on, he spit his little thing, bah, 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 bah. I came through and I spit mine. I didn't even think it was really that hard. You know, I'm like, okay, this really can't be that hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm going to win. But it was crowd participation. So by the next thing I know, the whole crowd is going crazy. So at that point in time, I would roll deep. I would have about 15 people with me at a time. So, you know, here I am, you know, doing this freestyle battle, and then I still haven't opened up for Big Mo at this point. I just want to let y'all know this, man. I've been in the game for a while. I've done a lot of stuff in my career that a lot of people will probably never, ever accomplish. And I'm not shooting slugs. I'm just saying, I'm not saying they won't never accomplish it, but stuff that people have not accomplished yet. And I encourage everybody, if you're an artist, or if you're into music, or if you're anything that has to do within the entertainment industry, never give up on your dreams. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on, never let anyone tell you that you cannot be who you want to be. And don't let people tell you that you can't be successful at what you want to be successful at. Never let anybody tell you that. And you'll be fine. And prove people wrong. Prove they ass wrong. So anyways, I did the freestyle battle and I smashed this dude. I didn't even know it. I'm like, dang, I crashed this dude. So they had a whole list, but I crashed this dude and nobody wanted to battle me. And I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to make this to fit my narrative. This is a true story, and I wish I had somebody to co-sign this right now, but unfortunately I'm riding by myself. But this is a true story, it really happened. So, you know, what ends up happening is, the guy gets up on there, was Mad Hatter from 97.9 The Box, which is a huge radio station in Houston. To this day, they're still relevant in Houston, Texas. 97.9. Shout out to 97.9 The Box, man. Shout out to them. They do a lot of great events. So they still kicking and they still flipping. And Mad Hatter was the one that was there hyping up the show, and they had a trophy. To this day, I have the trophy, and I'm going to show you the trophies. For all y'all who think that I ain't playing games and I didn't win the freestyle competition, let me tell you how I won. I won by default because nobody else wanted to get up on stage and rap after that. They had a whole list. They had like 8 people that were supposed to rap. After I went, nobody wanted to battle me. So at that point, they just turned the trophy over to me. They straight was like, here you go. Here's the trophy. We're going to go ahead on and give you the trophy. You know what I'm saying? And I ended up receiving the trophy. At that point, now all of a sudden somebody wants to walk to the stage. And there was this guy who really tried to challenge me. He really did. And he was like, oh, I'll smash you on the mic, you know. And I told him, I was like, all right. I had like about 15 people with me. So they all crowded the stage and we all had on the same outfits, Lethal Ink t-shirts, everything. We was in uniform. So all of a sudden you see all the same t-shirts, just a gang of people. So they're all like, man, we got money on him. They were willing to put $1,000 down on that stage, and the dude didn't want to bet the 1,000. So I said, you know what? You don't want to bet the 1,000? Let's make it even sweeter. Why don't you get up here and I'll put the trophy down, and if you can wreck me on the mic, I'll give you the trophy, take it home with you. Dude didn't want to do it. So that was my first time winning a freestyle competition. I could always freestyle and do, you know what I'm saying? But that was my first time officially winning a freestyle competition. Then after that, they let me take a picture in front of the Bentley with the trophy and everything. And I got to find a picture just to co-sign this. And I will start bringing you more. What I'm going to call this is Glory Story. Glory Story. I'm going to start doing a glory story where I'm going to tell you some of the craziest stuff that's happened to me during my hip hop career. Some of the artists that I've met, some of the artists I've worked with, some of the stuff that's actually happened to me, and it's crazy stories that, and I'm telling you right now, if you don't believe these stories, you really don't have to. But these stories are 110% true. There is no fabrication. There is no alteration in these stories. These stories are 100% true. And somebody's like, you know what? I was there, and everything he's saying is 100% true. So we end up winning that. By this time, boys is kind of salty. Boys is like, who is this little light-skinned dude up here rapping like this? And why is he here? And why does he have the trophy? And he's still about to open up for Big Pokey? We're not even going to open up for Big Pokey. We're not even going to open up for Big Mo. And it wasn't about that. To me, that was a great time because it was a moment in time for me to showcase my skills. Okay? And I've arrived to my destination. But I'm just going to wrap the story up. I'm going to say it was a great night for me. It was a great experience in my career. I thought that I would share that with some of you guys. And I'm very fortunate to be able to have experience opening up for Big Mo and Big Pokey. Shout out to Big Pokey, by the way, Poyo, and RIP to Big Mo, rest in peace forever. But the feeling that I got when I got up on stage and people just go crazy, and dude was pulling on my pants, girlfriends was coming over, girlfriends was switching ships. But I just want to say I really do love music. A lot of people don't realize how much I really love music, and this is really a passion of mine. And I'm going to show you 2022, I'm going to show you, dog, that I am one of the best independent artists in the game. And I have been for years. No deal, no manager, no nothing. And I'm going to prove it to a lot of people, because a lot of people still don't take me seriously as an artist. And that really hurts my feelings, because I put a lot of heart, I put a lot of passion into my music, dog. And it really, really crushes the juice out of my heart when people tell me that I'm not an artist or they don't take me seriously, because I'm telling you, I'm going to share some stories with you that you're not going to believe. And I almost didn't believe they were true when they happened. But all of these stories are true. Thank you for listening to my glory story today. It's your boy, King Jut. I'm signing off. I got to go. Got a lot of things to do, if you know what I mean. Bang, bang, bang.